Hello YouTube, me too coming at you from the third dimension. Ooh. Wow, you all look so real. Or is it that I look so real? Anyway, the reason for this adornment is that I figured I'd do a bit of a feature and talk about some 3D stuff. Nope, I can barely see. Not this 3D. Nintendo were just so slow at getting on these things. I mean, if you wanted 3D back in the 80s, you weren't going with Nintendo. Nintendo? You know, that's just, what was the old saying? You can't do this on Nintendo. Well, you can, but it'd be this, which is just so rad. Ooh, now I can see in blue and, well, kind of blue and largely red. Nintendo obviously had a penchant for red with the Virtual Boy and all. That was their 3D. 3D equals red. I should have probably just got the red 3DS. But anyway, for those who think, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Sega 3D. And you might have seen this and gone, hey Zeus, you're just gone mad now. Okay, yes, that's not quite yet where I should be. Let's talk about Sega. Back in the 80s, you weren't cool if you didn't wear shades like that. And Sega wanted to oblige, and they brought out the Sega 3D glasses. A view from inside. Now literally there were no limits. So what does it say? Are you ready to make contact with the inner dimension? If so, put on a pair of Sega 3D glasses and literally see the whole picture. The Sega 3D glasses transforms your vision into your game's compelling screen where hundreds of vibrant colours, hundreds? That's an exaggeration. Even the Mega Drive didn't have hundreds of on-screen colours, I think. Because they had like a palette of 512, was it, or something? But the Master System certainly didn't have hundreds. Greet your eyes and graphics come alive. But beware. They're coming from all sides now that you're on the inside. Sega's matched high-speed liquid crystal shutter technology with VHD compatibility for a high-tech instrument that won't interfere with your own glasses. Oh yeah? Now again, these aren't the Sega ones, but these things are quite hard to get on over your real glasses. Look, like if I take these off, I can't see for shit, but there we go. That's still like I'm you know an extra from RoboCop, but I can barely even read this now. To operate, see your player's handbook that accompanies every three-dimensional mega cartridge. Oh, the cartridges are 3D as well. So let's scoot this off for a second so that I can see what I'm doing. And let's look at the Sega 3D glasses. So actually I got these new for Christmas, not just Christmas gone the year before that, from America. And everything was nicely, you know, still sealed inside. So you have your Sega 3D card instructions and the warranty card at the back. Most importantly then you have the Sega, well not most importantly, secondly, you have the 3D adapter. And then of course you have the 3D glasses themselves. Now I have taken these out and everything was sealed, but as you can see I've opened them up. I left the seal on these because I was aware that I probably wasn't going to use them all that much, but I wanted to try them out. I wanted to see what they were like. Oh Jesus. Now let's see if I can get these on. The reason why I didn't want to use them too much is that they're quite small and the hinges end up, when you put them on an adult's head, they put a lot of pressure on and can damage them, so I really don't want to. Ugh. There we go. To be fair, when they're on, they kind of scoop your head a bit better than the other one. So yeah, now I feel so cool. Yeah, I should do every video wearing Sega 3D glasses. And with the protective films on. Ugh. So that's the real 3D glasses. And they work okay. I mean, for the time frame. I'm going to have problems getting everything back in now. so I'll just leave them there for the moment. But as I said, they were kind of a little awkward to use with an adult head. But thankfully, the adapter that they use is still a standard. So you can buy modern glasses. I mean, basically they just use a 3.5-inch jack, which is great. And once you have the adapter itself, or if you have say a Mark III or is it the Mark III? But the Japanese console actually has this adapter built in, so you don't even need it. You can just pop in a pair of modern glasses and you're good to go. And these come in adult sizes. Now, the reason why I should probably mention that these were what are they? These are the Asus VR 3D glasses, and I think these came from America as well. But they were like $20 delivered, a lot cheaper than what you get the original pair for, and essentially they're much more disposable. These I don't mind so much if they get a little bit damaged, but obviously I really don't want my original 3D glasses to get damaged. Let's move around. Anyway, simply all over the shop today. The reason why I decided to do this little feature is because a few weeks back I got a game from Private Joker that completed my 3D set for the Sega Master System. Now, initially, I had these games. I got this, and I thought that was the complete 3D set. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, and they all happen to have 3D in the title. So we'll go through them. You have the most novel of them all, which is probably the first one, Missile Defense 3D, because not only do you use the 3D glasses, but you use the light phaser as well. So that's pretty unusual, and it does make for an immersive experience. Now, this is the American version. I'm not pushed about American PAL, that sort of thing, as long as it's kind of an English version release. Next up, then we have they've changed the box art. You got the Sega Scope 3D thing. Excuse me. And then they have a Monster Hunter 3D, or Maze Hunter. Sorry, I was thinking of Monster Hunter coming to the 3DS review. And you're trapped. Yeah, so it's kind of like a maze game where you gotta avoid things, and where they're trying to get the 3D is the depth of the maze. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, most of these games can only be played with the 3D glasses, so they're trying to do something with third dimension. The light phaser missile defense one with the missiles coming out of the screen at you, and with the maze with the depth of the maze. And you have next up is Space Harrier 3D, and of course it is Space Harrier but in 3D. It makes sense with the check grid and whatnot to do that. And from what I've heard, this one plays a little smoother than the standard Space Harrier too. Now, I'm terrible at Space Harrier, so I couldn't tell you if it does or not. This one does have a secret 2D mode. I think if you get a high score or something, and you type in a certain name on the high score screen, you have a 2D option. I've never tried it, so I can't tell you if it's true or not. Or I've never tried to do the 2D thing. Next up we have Zaxxon 3D, and again with similar type of box art design. So Zaxxon was one of the kind of first games that required a lot of 3D spatial awareness to play successfully, because you had to navigate the environment, the isometric environment. So this was trying to taking it to the next level, so to speak. And you're kind of flying in. You can just about see in the screenshot there, maybe through the kind of funnel style thing, but the instead of being isometric, it's more kind of like a top-down shooter, but it's scrolled down. Keeping on the shooting theme, then we have Blade Eagle 3D. Oh, this one's actually a European version, so there you go. I think it's probably one of only 2 maybe PAL games I have. The American ones are easier to pick up, and I'm not pushed on regions, so if I can find the NTSC, so be it. If I can find a PAL, that's fine too. And yeah, it's got the PAL manual. The other ones are NTSC manuals. I believe this one works in that you've got 2 planes and you're kind of going between them. There was something like this, I think, on the Virtual Boy as well. I haven't played too many of these too much because I don't actually have a CRT television at the moment that I can try them all out on. So I had the first few. I think I had Maze Hunter and Missile Defense, so I was able to try those out. But since then, other than checking out the cartridge works, I can't really play them. And I don't think that one has a 2D mode. Back to the American games, then we have Poseidon Wars 3D, Battle Stations. And from what I heard, that this one is, it really doesn't need to be in 3D at all. It apparently doesn't have anything to do with experience, and it's also the first one to come advertised with a 2D mode. So they perhaps realise that, okay, well, this is basically a graphical trickery. Let's not cut down our user base that we're selling to. And yet, surprisingly, this is, the first few of these, just to give you an idea, Missile Defense, Maze Hunter, Space Harrier, and Zaxxon are the easiest to come across. They're all easy to find, but if you want to spend, say, no more than £10-15, then you might have to be a little patient, because bin men often up for £30 pounds for most of these games. This one can take a little bit of time to find. I got it, I think, for £7 with another game, and two of them came to something like 15. I think it was that on Zool. And this one here as well, maybe because it's one of the later ones, seems to be tricky-ish to find. Again, you won't spend more than 20 if you're anyway patient, and you can definitely get it for less. But it can require a little more patience. Oh, it actually has the cartridge in it. Most of the cartridges are elsewhere. So American manual. I prefer the American manuals anyway. And then finally, for the known 3D ones, you have Outrun 3D, and it has, with 2D mode, new driving music. And I think this is a completely new Outrun game. And this was only released in PAL, or in Europe, I think. Not even sure if it was released in Australia. I'm surprised this didn't sell a bit better, because it has the 2D mode as well. Maybe the 3D tag put people off, or maybe thought when it's in 2D it's just like the ordinary Outrun, so what's the difference? Well, what's the difference? It has a bloody much better box art, that's for damn sure. I got this actually from Murphdorf on my last trip to the UK. It is definitely, easily the hardest to pick up 3D title. It is the only one I think that you'd have to pay more than £20-25 at the moment to buy. This one was relatively expensive for me anyway. It was £40. It seems to be going for around that on eBay. Maybe you could get it for maybe 35, 30 if you do really well in an auction. So this one's definitely the one to look out for if you're looking to scoop a deal. And again, yeah, European manual. But I didn't even notice how to turn on the 2D mode. I know I tried it. And yeah, it doesn't stick in my mind very well for whatever reason. Maybe it's because when you have the ordinary out one, there's not much reason to stick this one on as well. Because it definitely defaults to 3D, so when you turn it on, you get this split, crazy view type thing. So yeah, this is the one that you're definitely going to be searching for. And when I got that done, when I had those games, I thought, I'm done. In fact, that one was the last one. That was pretty much the order I got them in. And actually, I think I might have got Poseidon Wars before Blade Eagle, something, but either way, that was about the order I got. Should we just do that? Yeah, that was the order. And interestingly, I got all American ones first, and then European. Just the way it worked out. And later on then, I found out that there was an 8 game that used the 3D glasses. And I was like, but how can this be? They're not called 3D. There's no other game with markings that has this one has the 3D here. The earlier or the main ones have the Sega Scope 3D, and this one of course has the the 3D blurb like Outrun. So you can see they're the last two with the same 3D blurb. Then you had all the Sega Scope ones. Sega Scope, Sega Scope, And at the beginning they only had this tiny little, oh, it uses the 3D. Because of course lots of games have been called 3D before that. They didn't require 3D glasses. Not on the Master System, but just in general. So then there's this game, which, as I said, I got from Private Joker on the Sega April forums / Retroclip forums, and it is Line of Fire. And there's nary a mention of 3D, so I was completely unaware of this. And I don't even know, I haven't looked in the manual if it even mentions in here that it's 3D. But the fact that it doesn't mention it on the box, I don't think it does. Nope. Just as you stole the enemy's secret weapon, which maybe that was 3D, that's what they were mentioning, the secret weapon, and started back, the enemy spotted you. No! So close. Now you must fight your way back to safety, but be careful, you're in the line of fire. If you really get out of the line of fire, it's not a good place to be. So escape, take control, getting started, map, playing game, signals, not seeing anything. Stages, end game, continue, just go. Oh wait, no, there is something. 3D glasses. You can enjoy 3D video play with Line of Fire by wearing Sega 3D glasses and initializing Line of Fire for the 3D mode. Set up the glasses as described in the glasses manual. Initialize the game for 3D mode by pressing the buttons 1 and 2 firmly while you turn the power on. Once power is on, follow the instructions for normal play. So there you go. Not a mention on the box as a selling feature. You know, not a blurb, 3D compatible, not required. Just last or second last page in the manual. Oh yeah, it's 3D. So that one had totally kind of gone under my radar as being a 3D game. And I was like, oh, yep, completely 3D set. Da 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 da. And I think it was Retro Bobs made a comment about, oh, Line of Fire 3D as well. I was like, what? No. But thanks to Private Joker, 3D complete. Mission complete, I suppose. So, there's all the games. There's me modern glasses. Ugh. Must terminate. And there's the original glasses. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, for the time, that looked pretty cool. Maybe less so now. But yeah, it's probably just as well I can't see it if you find out, be going, Jesus, take off the glasses, you idiot. Anyway, that's my little rambling feature on the Sega 3D glasses. I hope you enjoyed, and if you're collecting them, don't forget Line of Fire like I did. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you again soon.